Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and today we are ranking the receiving core 1 to 32 in the National Football League season 2022 and 2023. So I've done my running backs and done my quarterbacks. So please, if you have not listened or watched those uh, uh, videos, make sure you go back and you do so. You know. Um, but here we are, talking about the receiving corps. And we're going to go from 1 through 32. We're starting off with the Los Angeles Rams. They are number 1. Allen Robinson, Cooper Kupp, Van Jefferson are going to be more likely your starters and your wideouts and your slot receivers. They are the ones that are going to do big things when it comes down to this season. And if Matthew Stafford's elbow stays healthy, I think he will be throwing the ball all across the field to Robinson, to Jefferson, to Cooper Kupp. Is going to be a major thing for the Los Angeles Rams in the passing game. Number 2, the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals led off with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and they got Tyler Boyd. They are going to be fantastic this year. It doesn't surprise me that the number 1 and number 2 receiving corps are the Super Bowl teams from last year. And I think no one should be surprised if they make it back to the Super Bowl again this year. No one should be surprised. Number 3, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, we're talking about the Buccaneers has Mike Evans. They have Julio Jones. They have Russell Gage, who was an unrestricted free agent from Atlanta. And of course, Chris Godwin will come back later in the year off his ACL tear. They also have Brashad Perriman, a speedster who in the game against Buffalo Bills last year, caught the winning pass and scored a touchdown in overtime. So it's an amazing thing. We know Tom Brady's gonna do his thing. Cameron Brate, their tight end, with Rob Gronkowski gone, and OJ Howard. Actually, he was in Buffalo, but he just been released. I think that is going to be a major a major source of talent that they've lost over the past year. But I think Cameron Brate will still be good, and of course, when you have Tom Brady, anything can happen. So I think the Buccaneers are number 3 at the receiving corps. Number 4, we got the Los Angeles Raiders. We got Darren Waller at tight end. Of course, they've signed. They did sign Devontae Adams, but they originally traded for him. We've got Hunter Renfrow. We got Mac Hollins, who was a receiver, unrestricted free agent from Miami. We got some talent there in Las Vegas. And Derek Carr, this is his year to shine. This is his year to do what you need to do to get his team to the Super Bowl. And they should be focused on that offense. Josh Jacobs out of the backfield, I think, can catch some balls as well. But this receiving core is going to be fantastic. We know last year with Devontae Adams in Green Bay had over 100 catches. Hunter Renfrow had over 100 catches as well. I don't know if they're both going to have 100 catches this year, but I would not be surprised if that does happen. Big time talent in Las Vegas. Number 4, the Raiders. Number 5, the Vikings. Let's look at this guy, right? We're talking about Justin Jefferson, excuse me, doing the gritty, all that stuff, right? We've got Adam Thielen. We know 2 superstar studs. Irv Smith Jr. is a great tight end. And we now have this new offense. We're going to see it come about. We're going to see it's Kevin McConnell, who comes from the Rams. They're going to bring this West Coast style offense here. We'll see how that works. I think it's going to be perfect for Kirk Cousins, because he's been in a West Coast offense all along. This is just going to be a different type of West Coast offense. So I would expect the Vikings to have very good talent, and don't be surprised if they are the surprise division winner this year. Number 6, the Buffalo Bills. You start with Stephon Diggs, who has probably been one of the biggest helps to biggest helps to Josh Allen becoming who Josh Allen has become, but also just Josh Allen has done a lot of work himself as well. You have Gabriel Davis, who should have a breakout season this year. We know what he did in that playoff game against the Chiefs. He had 3 touchdown passes. Pass catches, incredible. Isaiah McKenzie in the slot should be a well-off thing. Then we're also going to talk about Jameson Crowder, who was an unrestricted free agent from the New York Jets, and of course the tight end Dawson Knox. Josh Allen. This is going to be a team. I think this is going to be a team that throws the ball a lot because they don't have a good running game to fall back on. If it's not Josh Allen, you can't have him run all the times. He can't. You just can't have it. So I think the Buffalo Bills have a great talent in the receiving core, and I think they're going to do something big this year. Number 7 is the 49ers. You start with Kittle, right? You start with Kittle at tight end. He's the number 1 receiver. He's the guy that Trey Lance needs to get the ball to early and often. You got Deebo Samuel, who's a wide receiver, also a running back. He's going to be doing a lot of great things as well. Brendan Ayuk, a rookie from a couple years ago. I think he is great talent as well. So when you look at those 3, and then you talk about all the running backs out of the backfield catching passes, things like that, I think Kyle Shanahan is going to, at the very least, make Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo. He's gonna turn him into Jimmy Garoppolo number 2. And Jimmy Garoppolo is back there, and if Jimmy Garoppolo has to come in for Trey Lance, then that will just I think it may make it even more talented because I think at this point in their careers, Jimmy Garoppolo is a better quarterback than Trey Lance, but Trey Lance just has so much promise and upside that they want to go with Trey Lance. But in the receiving core, the 49ers is 7. The Dallas Cowboys are 8. And that's including some of the injuries that has happened, like to James Washington and things like that. Dalton Schultz is a tight end. C.D. Lamb on one side, Michael Gallup on the other side. They've got Noah Brown and Dylan Tolbert are in the receiving core as well. So this is going to be very simple for Dak Prescott. I think a lot of people are wondering, like, why did you trade Amari Cooper? But I think that shows up the number 1 receiver spot for CeeDee Lamb to take over, and Michael Gallup number 2. And then they did lose Cedric Wilson to Miami, and so like I mentioned, James Washington got injured. But I truly believe the Cowboys have a great receiving core. That's not counting out 2 running backs that can come out of the backfield and catch passes as well, Elliott and Pollard. So I think the Cowboys are. I think if they can cut down the penalties, they are destined for a long run in the playoffs. Number 9, the Seattle Seahawks. Now, the thing with the Seattle Seahawks is the quarterback rankings, I had them 32nd with Geno Smith. The running back rankings, I had them 32nd with Brad Penny. And I have the Seahawks 9th in their receiving core because they got Noah Fant in the Russell Wilson trade from Denver. So he's a very good tight end on the up and coming tight end side. And then we talk about DK Metcalf, who is just a beast of a receiver, and Tyler Lockett, who has become a fantastic receiver as well. So you have to look at them and say, okay, so what else are they going to do? You have that tight end. You have the 2 receivers, great talent, right? But then they have that quarterback, and you just don't know if that quarterback, either one of them, Geno Smith or Drew Lock, can get them the ball. But talent-wise, I think they're both, with Metcalf and Lockett, and then of course with Fant at the tight end. I think that makes them, without question, a top 10, 15 receiving core. I personally have them at 9. So we'll have to see what goes on down this year when it comes to that place. Number 10, I have the Chargers. Justin Herbert has Mike Williams. They have Keenan Allen. They have Jalen Guyton, and many others in that talented receiving core. Austin Eckler can catch passes out of the backfield. Justin Herbert is going to, I think he's going to fight and battle for that MVP this year. I think he's going to do it with these talented guys in their receiving core. Number 11, the Philadelphia Eagles. You have A.J. Brown. You have Devontae Smith. You have Quez Watkins. You have Jalen Rager. You have Zach Pascal. All there, not along with Dallas Goedert at the tight end spot. True talent. All the things is going to be is can the quarterback get them the balls? Can they get them the balls on time and in space and accurately? If Jalen Hurts can do that, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to walk away with this division hands down. I truly believe. But that's all going to be depending on if Jalen Hurts is the guy to get them there. So we'll really have to see and wait about that. But the talent there is immeasurable. So the Eagles have a true talented receiving core, I think, and it's going to be great to see what they do with it this year. Going now to 13. No, excuse me. 12. That's the Miami Dolphins. Now, we talked about Cedric Wilson there, going there as an unrestricted free agent from Dallas. Mike Gesicki, the tight end. Jalen Waddle, who was there last year, but of course the major one is the trade they got from Kansas City when they took Tyreek Hill there. And this is all going to be about speed with them. Jalen Waddle is fast. Tyreek Hill is fast. Cedric Wilson has twitch. I don't really know if they have a lot of big, big body guys who can go up, jump up, and get the ball. But I do think they have speed guys. And again, if Tua is as accurate as Tyreek says, this should be fun to watch in Miami with all of their talent they have there. 13, the Kansas City Chiefs. We just talked about them losing Tyreek Hill, but they've signed Juju Smith-Schuster. They signed Marquez Valdes-Scantling. They've got Nicole Hartman there as well. They've got Sky Moore, and they've got of course the big man, Travis Kelce, because he's going to be the number one without question. And we're going to see how the other ones can stop up. Juju Smith-Schuster looked like he was going to be a one, but once they got rid of Antonio Brown, he was really not the same guy. He has not been the same person since. McCole Hartman says he can step up. He's fast, not as fast as Tyreek, but he's still fast. So let's see if he can step up. And Marquez Valdes-Scantling is also fast. He has some speed as well. Sky Moore, I think they say he's fast, but I don't know. On Madden, you don't have him being fast, so we'll have to wait and see if he's truly fast. But it's amazing what the Chiefs are going to be doing. And I think no matter what, as long as you have that guy back there throwing the pill, anyone can become a star in that offense. So Kansas City Chiefs are going to still do some damage this year, and they've got some talented guys to help out Travis Kelce in the receiving core. 14, the New Orleans Saints. Now this one here is, I love this right here. Right, they've moved. Jesus Christ. Taysom Hill. They moved Taysom Hill to tight end, so he's gonna be a tight end. I don't know if he's gonna be a starter or not. Who knows? But they moved him to tight end, and they have him there. And then Michael Thomas is gonna come back, healthy off of an injury played year. They drafted Chris Olave, speed demon, from Ohio State, and then they signed Jarvis Landry to be the slot guy. So James Wilson has many guys there to do so. They've also got Marquez Callaway. They've also got Traquan Smith. They got Deontay Harris there as well, although Deontay Harris is more of a return guy, but they still got all of those guys back there. So it's going to be special to see what those guys can do and how bad they're going to do it as well. So, again, it's another thing we got to say. Can James Wilson get them the ball and get them the ball early and often and accurately? And if you can do that, I think the Saints are very much a contender to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. So, Number 15 are the Carolina Panthers. When you look at them, you look at DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson, who are already there. They've got Shea Smith. They traded for Laviska Shenault Jr. They signed Andre Roberts and Rashard Higgins in free agency. So they've got an amazing core there as well. And we know Big Mayfield is not going to be the starter. So once all of that happens, it's going to be great to see them all in action. And it's one of those things where you have to watch and see, can Baker Mayfield, you know, restart his career, and can he can he do it with these weapons that they have? And the number one weapon that you always have to mention, whether you're talking about running back or receiving, is Christian McCaffrey. He can do both, and if he stays healthy, I think the straw that's going to stir the drink in Carolina. Is if he can catch the ball running, if he can if he doesn't catch the ball running, if he can catch the ball receiving, and if he can run the ball, stay healthy this year, I think Carolina has a great chance of being a surprise team to come out of this NFC South. 16, the Arizona Cardinals. So we're talking about AJ Green, Marquise Brown, Rondale Moore, and we can't forget DeAndre Hopkins, although he will be missing 6 weeks of the season for a suspension for PEDs. But that's neither here nor there. When he comes back, he is, and they get also from last year's trade. They also have the tight end from Philly, Zach Ertz, and that's going to be incredible. So Kyler Murray signed a $20-30 million deal, just like Deshaun Watson, although he didn't get as much guaranteed money, but he needs to not play Call of Duty. When that comes out next month, he needs to get his shit done and become a player in this league. And Cliff Kingsbury needs to help teach him how to do that as well. So hopefully that will happen, because the Cards have a very nice receiving core, and I think it could help them out in a long season to help go to playoffs, especially when you're going to miss DeAndre Hopkins for the first 6 games. Number 17 is the Indianapolis Colts. Now here we don't have a lot of names. Michael Pittman Jr. is a up and coming receiver. I think that he has some great stuff. So does Paris Campbell. They got Alec Pierce. So they got some stuff there. But what they really need is for Jonathan Taylor to be great. And something that I think Frank Reich said was interesting. He talked about that you can't be a running football team, and you need to be passing. You need to be passing. So a lot of these players are going to have to step up their game to help Matt Ryan do this and become one of the greats, or continue to be one of the greats in this game. So the Colts are at 17. The Steelers are at 18. Love the rookie George Pickens. Watch a lot of Pittsburgh Steelers preseason. He's been great to watch. Deontay Johnson is a special talent, and Clay Claypool from Notre Dame can be good as well. They signed Miles Borkin from off of the waivers of Baltimore, and they've got Calvin Austin III, who's also a rookie, to go along with George Pickens. So it's all going to be about who's going to be throwing in the ball. Trubisky, Pickett. They're starting to start with Trubisky. You see how long he will last. As someone who just like to see him do something well, to see him to prove some of the haters wrong, I hope he plays all 17 games. And Kenny Pickett can just sit back and relax. And we'll see about that. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season in his career. He's had 8 seasons and things like that, but never one where he lost more than he won. Excuse me. So I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to see what Steelers do this year. Travis Fryermuth as well, or is it Travis or I don't know who I don't know his first name, but I just call him Fryermuth, the tight end. He has a big job as well to be the safety outlet for either Trubisky or Pickett. So the Steelers are 17 or 18, excuse me. The Browns are 19. We talked about the trade from Amari Cooper to there, David Njoku, the tight end. Donovan Peoples-Jones is also there. Anthony Schwartz, the speed demon. He had a whole lot of trouble in preseason, apparently dropping 6 balls during the preseason. Thought maybe he would get cut, but he did not. So he's going to be big there. He's going to have to be a big part of that as well, of their team. So some good stuff for Jacoby Brissett to play with. And then when Deshaun Watson comes back, he should have some. It might be take a couple of times to get to know each other, but he should have some great stuff there as well. They had a couple of rookies as well with Michael Woods II and David Bell. So if those rookies can step up, help out Brissett and help out Watson when he comes back, and do what they brought Deshaun Watson there to do, to take them to a Super Bowl. We'll see if that can happen. The 20 receiver core is the New York Jets. Now, even though they've stepped up some of their games, they got Corey Davis, an unrestricted free agent from Tennessee. They drafted Garrett Wilson. Last year's rookie of the year, Elijah Moore. Denzel Mims, even though he asked for a trade, he is still there. Also Braxton Berrios, he was claimed off for Ravens of New England. Zach Wilson will miss probably the first couple games due to that MCL tear and knee bone bruise. But when he comes back, he's gonna have a lot of talent there to play with, and he needs to make a big jump from year 1 to year 2, and hopefully he'll have the opportunity to do that. Number 21, the Tennessee Titans. You lose A.J. Brown there, right? But you replace him with Robert Woods. Now Robert Woods is coming off of a ACL tear himself. So I'm not sure he's going to start the season or not. But they drafted Treylon Burks in the first round. They've also got a guy there, Nick Westbrook Akine. So we'll see that. We'll see what it is. But we know what this is. We know what Tennessee is. Tennessee is a running team. So they're going to run the football and play good defense. Ryan Tannehill cannot make mistakes in the passing game. I don't think he will. He usually doesn't. That 3 interception game, 2 of those interceptions were not his fault. They were tip balls. You gotta say that. Just stop blaming it all on Ryan Tannehill. But if Henry is healthy, King Henry, as he likes to be called, I think he'll be healthy enough, maybe possibly he get close to another 2,000-yard season and to become one of the all-time greats that we've ever seen in the NFL history. And I think they can do something in the NFC South. I think their only competition is Indianapolis, but I think they'll be able to try and do something. So we'll see about that. 22, the Denver Broncos. Their receiver, they lost Tim Patrick to a knee injury. So that's going to be a deflating thing for them to talk about. But they still have Cortland Sutton, who is there. They've got Jerry Jeudy, who's also there. 2 rookies, Montreal Washington, Jalen Virgil. They've got KJ Hamler as well as a slot guy. Again, they traded Noah Fant, their tight end, but I think their tight end position can still be working as well. Russell Wilson is one of those guys that I think can make players, can make receivers into big-time players. And I think he'll help them do that. I think because of that, Jerry Jeudy will have a breakout year. I think Cortland Sutton will be one as well. But I have the Denver Broncos. I need to see it first. That's why I have the Denver Broncos at 22. 23, I have the Atlanta Falcons. We know about Kyle Pitts, the big star tight end from last year. They drafted Drake London this year. He's going to be another one that can get up and get it type of player. I think that's going to be very awesome to see. You got some other guys there. Brian Edwards in a trade from Las Vegas, and they signed Demir Bird, the speed demon from Chicago. Cordero Patterson will catch passes as well, not only from coming out of the backfield, but from lining up in under the slot positions. And it looks like they're going to go with Marcus Mariota. And let's see if Marcus Mariota can get his career back on track. If not, I think we're going to see Desmond Ridder at some point in the season as well, and we'll see if he's their future quarterback. But they have some talent there, but you really need some other pieces. I think more pieces, and that may come next year and during next year's draft. 24, the Washington Commanders. Other than Terry McLaurin, I don't see a lot here. Jahan Dotson, the rookie receiver they drafted this year, I think can make some difference. I think Curtis Samuel, coming from Carolina, can do something as well. But right now, the only thing they have right now is Terry McLaurin, and I don't know if that's enough for Carson Wentz to do any type of damage in this National Football Conference Eastern Division. But we'll see. Surprise, surprise. Some things can happen, and we can have some breakout players. And if that does happen, then good on them. But I just don't see it at this point in time. That's why I have the Commanders at 24. 25, I have the Baltimore Ravens. Rashad Bateman is the guy they drafted last year. They need to step up. Devin Duvernay, a couple years ago, quarterback. They have James Proch III as well. DeMarcus Robinson, they just re-signed off of this year. And Tylan Wallace. They have Mark Andrews at the tight end position, and he's a really good one. He's a top echelon tight end. But it's going to be the receivers to try to get open for Lamar Jackson. Or at the very least, it's going to be up to Lamar Jackson to throw them open, or something like that. So it's I just don't know. And I had Lamar Jackson 13 in my quarterback rankings, and a lot of people think that he's a top quarterback, but I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback. But I don't think so. I think a top 10 quarterback helps players become better, and I don't know if he would help these guys become better. I really don't. That's why I have him at 13, and so. We'll see. Steve Young said something a couple of weeks ago that was very interesting, that the Ravens are not helping Lamar Jackson by doing all of these things with the run pass options and the designed runs and things like that. They're not helping them. They're not putting them in an offense that helps them become more consistent in the passing game. And I agree with that. I agree with that. I also agree that Lamar Jackson may just not be as good as some people want him to be, and that could be for a myriad of reasons. But I think he's just not there yet. He had an MVP season. Give him all that credit. He did it, but he has regressed. That's something we have to say. He has regressed, and the receiving core is average at best. With the top tier tight end, but. I just don't know about the Baltimore Ravens. So, yeah, I also had the Baltimore Ravens at 25. 26, I have the Detroit Lions. Amon-Ra St. Brown was a breakout star from last year. They've got Josh Reynolds came off Tennessee. They've got DJ Chalk, the free agent from Jacksonville. They've got Khalif Raymond, who is definitely a speedster. They've got Quintez Cephas, who has done some good as well. So we'll really have to wait and see. I think with DJ Chalk and Amon-Ra St. Brown, there could be something there. And it's going to be on Jared Goff. Apparently, Jared Goff had a great preseason, great training camp, and a pretty good preseason. So we'll see if he can step up his game and help these guys become even better than they already are. So yeah, but I have the Lions at 26. The Packers are at 27. We look at the Packers. Alan Lazard, Sammy Watkins, Randall Cobb, Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, Samari Toure, Amari Rogers. Those are the receivers that they have. Not alone, there's Robert Tunyon, who's coming off of a ACL tear himself. Uh, who knows if he'll actually be back for the start of the season. I haven't heard anything about that. But we heard a week or two ago, Rogers was getting upset that the receivers were not, you know, was not catching on and not doing the things that they were supposed to do. He didn't play in this preseason. Jordan Love played most of this preseason, if not all this preseason, with the starters and things like that. And he was having a hard time, Rogers. When the fact that Rogers came out and he was kind of upset that Jordan Love didn't look good this season, but it's because of the receivers. And there was some talk about should he have done that? Should he not have done that? Neither here nor there. That's what Aaron Rodgers is going to do. He can do that because he's earned that right. But his talent is less than he's going to have to show up and show out. Hopefully, some of these rookies are going to be able to do something for him, and some of these other guys as well with Lazard, Watkins, Randall Cobb, in the slot. So Amari Rogers from last year or a couple years ago. So what are we going to see? This 28th receiving core of the New York Football Giants. Kenny Golladay, a free agent from last year. Kadarius Toney and Sterling Shepard, all guys who have not done what you thought they could have done, so far in their career. And that could be because of Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones not stepping up his game. But I also think that you also need to have some help to be if you're going to be a starting quarterback. And these guys really just didn't help last year. You thought Kenny Golladay may have, coming from Detroit, being a pretty good receiver from Detroit. Last year he just didn't work out. So we'll all have to wait and see what happens with the New York Giants. But they're 28. The Patriots are 29. They traded for Devontae Parker from Miami. They signed Kendrick Bourne from San Francisco. They got Jacoby Myers from a few years ago. They got Nelson Aguilar and Matthew Slater. Although Matthew Slater is more of a special teams than anything like that. So again, Mac Jones played hell of a thing last year. I thought he was really, really, really fantastic for a rookie. But this year he needs to make a jump, and he's got some less than receivers to do so with. And we'll see if he can turn around some of these receivers and and make them better, if they can make him better. So it's going to be something worthwhile to see. I also think they get Hunter Henry, the tight end, there. So that could help out as well. Number 30 are the Houston Texans. Their receiving core is just Nico Collins, Brandon Cooks, Philip Dorsett, and Chris Moore are who is on their depth chart. They got 4 receivers on their depth chart. Why? Well, you know why? Because Lovie Smith is the coach. And Lovie Smith wants to run the football and play good defense. He could give 2 shits about passing the ball. That's why they have 4 receivers on their depth chart. Now, maybe over the next few weeks, as we get ready to get closer to the first game, maybe they'll add some, some who maybe on waivers or who might be released or anything like that in a trade. Who knows? But right now they have 4 receivers, and that's garbage, absolute trash. 4 receivers. That does not make any sense. And I have them 30. Why do I have them 30? Because 31 is the Chicago Bears, my Chicago Bears. And Darnell Mooney had 1,000-yard receivers, 1,000-yard receiving last year. And he's the only one from last year that is on this team in the receiving part. Equinemius St. Brown was a free agent from Green Bay. Brian Pringle was a free agent from Kansas City. N'Keal Harry was a trade from New England. He is hurt. He's going to spend some time on the injured reserve They can be brought back. Dante Pettis was a free agent from New York Giants. Velus Jones was a receiver this year drafted. Tajay Sharp was a receiver from Atlanta in the free agent this year. So it's names that doesn't surprise you, that doesn't make you any make you any less, like what the hell are you gonna do, right? And then of course you cover up their tight ends. Cole Kmet, the you know second round tight end from a couple years ago, who needs to get back on track. Hopefully this new offense and new thing will help him as well. And they only got 2 tight ends. They got 2 fullbacks. Like fuck, you need 2 fullbacks for? Why do you even need 1 fullback? I don't get it. I think we've come to the point to where fullbacks are not necessarily in this league, right? Because they're just not. And the fact that they have 2 fullbacks blows my fucking mind. And it's just here. And with Darnell Mooney, like your only true possible talent on in this receiving core, that's why they're less than the Texans. Even though the Texans have 4 fucking receivers. It's the Chicago Bears at 31. And 32 are the Jacksonville Jaguars. I will say this. I think talent-wise, they might be more. Marvin Jones Jr., who came from Detroit a couple years ago. Zay Jones, a free agent from the Raiders. Christian Kirk signed a massive deal coming from the Arizona Cardinals this year. They've got Jamal Agnew, who is more of a return guy, but he is a punt returner, kick returner. He's there, and then they have some guy named Tim Jones that I've never even heard of. And I don't even know, I can't tell you which one of their ever tight ends there are. But I think with Doug Peterson there and his talent and his ability to be able to teach offense and teach quarterback play, I think that they are going to be good. And I think you could see where some of these guys become real-time players, and particularly the guys who are going to be like your starters, your Marvin Jones, your Zay Jones, your Christian Kirks, right? These may be able to help Trevor Lawrence even more, and maybe he would be able to make them more of a better receiving core. So, but until I see it less, I put them at 32. All right, so let's quickly recap the rankings for the receiving core. 1, Los Angeles Rams. 2, Cincinnati Bengals. 3, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 4, Las Vegas Raiders. 5, Minnesota Vikings. 6, Buffalo Bills. 7, 49ers. 8, Dallas Cowboys. 9, Seattle Seahawks. 10, Los Angeles Chargers. 11, Philadelphia Eagles. 12, Miami Dolphins. 13, Kansas City Chiefs. 14, New Orleans Saints. 15, Carolina Panthers. 16, Arizona Cardinals. 17, Indianapolis Colts. 18, Pittsburgh Steelers. 19, Cleveland Browns. 20, New York Jets. 21, Tennessee Titans. 22, Denver Broncos. 23, Atlanta Falcons. 24, Washington Commanders. I'm going to do that often because of damn calm. I know I'm going to do that often. 25, the Baltimore Ravens. 26, the Detroit Lions. 27, the Green Bay Packers. 28, the New York Giants. 29, the New England Patriots. 30th, Houston Texans. 31, the Chicago Bears. 32, the Jacksonville Jaguars. So there you have it. My rankings, 1 to 32 of the receiving cores in the National Football League season. Again, make sure if you have not heard my running back rankings or my quarterback rankings, you go back and you find it and do so. They're on my YouTube channel. They're on wherever you found the podcast, the audio podcast. They're there as well, so you can go back and you can listen to them and you can find out what those rankings were for that. Coming up, again, Friday, my NCAA preview show, where I will give you my rankings, not necessarily my rankings, but I will give you the 4 teams I am picking to make the college football playoff, break down their schedule, give you my Heisman Trophy winner, and also give you my record for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. In past years, I have done records for the Northwestern Wildcats, in Fighting Illini, and the Northern Illinois Huskies. I'm just keeping it now to just the Notre Dame Fighting Irish if they are not in my playoffs, because they could be in my playoff rankings. You never know. But I'm gonna keep it just Notre Dame for now, because I think, well, you know me and you know how I feel about um, my teams, and anytime I do these preview shows, I always talk about my teams and my Bears and my Bulls and my Cubs and things like that. And the Notre Dame Fighting Irish is my team, even though I root for the Illini and the Northwestern and Illinois, because I'm born and raised from Chicago, Illinois. Notre Dame has always been my #1 college football team, so I'm going to keep it just to Notre Dame if I don't have them already in the playoffs. So yeah, that's coming up this Friday again on YouTube and on wherever you listen to this podcast platform. There, and don't forget, next Wednesday I'm going to be doing the NFL. Oh yeah, it's next Wednesday. The NFL preview show. Well, we'll give you my predictions for the teams, the division winners, playoffs, things like that. I use a website that is amazing to do so. So you're going to see all that next week. Again, on YouTube you'll see it, but on your podcast platforms you will hear it. But yeah, that will be next Wednesday. So yeah, guys, that is it. Thank you guys so much for listening. Once again, I appreciate it so much. If you want to support your boy, you can always do it by going to anchor.fm/AJTRIP show and doing the and signing up for a subscription. It's 3 levels. It's $9.99. It's $9.99. $4.49 is the minimum, and then there's also 99 cents per month. Or you can also go to patreon.com/AJTRIP. Once I hit a certain amount of patrons, you will be able to determine to what you want to see on my YouTube channel, what you want to hear on my podcast. I have another podcast, The Word According to Me, so it'll be over there. And what video games you would like for me to play on my Twitch channel if I have that video game. It's going to be between the video games that I have. So yeah, if you become a Patreon. Once I hit a certain, yeah, and I already said that. So yes, please make sure you go there and do that. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, we'll end it like this. Please make sure you click the notification bell to get any type of videos that I'm going to start to be putting out. There's a lot of things coming out recently. I got a whole bunch of stuff with wrestling coming out. Then we got 2 wrestling shows. So if you like wrestling, I'll be talking about that and so much more. I've kind of toned down on some of the other videos, some of the reaction videos, some of the try not to laughs, just because I don't have the computer that I use is not great. It's not great for doing that anymore. I'm not able to do the reaction videos and the try not to laugh the way I would want to. It's just a shitty thing right there. And I think it's because my computer is bad. My computer my computer is old. I'm not sure, but I can't find it, and it's less of a hassle to just do videos that don't involve things like that right now. Even though I would love to continue to do those reaction videos and things like that, but that's just not in the cards for right now. Maybe some point down in the future. Hopefully within a year or 2 I can get back to doing those type of videos. But for right now, it's just going to be some videos like this. So, alrighty. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy, AJTRIP, signing off. Make sure you click that thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. As always, be good to each other. Y'all be careful out there. And I am out.